Hey, I'm on to you. I know what you're doing. You came here looking for a way to accelerate your results. You want to dramatically decrease the amount of time that it takes in order to achieve your goals. You want to live the life of your dreams and enjoy the finer things in life, and you want to do it sooner rather than later. You don't really care about laying the groundwork, and you certainly don't want a long speech on the fundamentals. You just want to learn how to make a quantum leap and to drive exponential growth, and you don't want to wait a long time in order to make it happen. Now look, I get it. Accelerating your growth and fast-tracking your goals is super important, and I'm not going to say that it isn't. Heck, I created the 100-Day Challenge based on all the principles of growth hacking and quantum leap thinking. All I ask is that you do yourself a favor. Just slow down for a few minutes, follow my lead, and devour every word in this presentation, as there's a very good chance that what you're about to learn will radically change the way you think about growth and permanently change the way that you execute on your goals. Hi there, this is Gary Ryan Blair, and welcome to How to Make a Quantum Leap. The purpose of this webinar is threefold. Number one, to explain the importance of quantum leap thinking and why you can and must use it to dramatically accelerate your results and to transform your life. Number two, to provide you with a roadmap, that is, specific actions and implementation strategies that you can deploy in order to create a lifetime of quantum leaps and exponential growth. And number three, to introduce you to the most extreme performance acceleration program in the world, the 100-Day Challenge, and how you can use it to achieve more in 100 days than most people do over the course of 10 years. Now let's start with why, as in why is it so important for you to accelerate your win rate and to master the quantum leap strategy? Well, the answer is as simple as it is profound, because the future is so much bigger, is so much bolder and faster than you could ever possibly imagine. And if you do not adapt to the realities of change, of speed and exponential growth, you will be left behind, and consequently, your future will be smaller, slower, and fearful. So you're left with two options: adapt or die. See, the truth is, most people in organizations are preparing themselves for a future that simply does not exist. While technology is on an unconventional rocket ride from one moonshot to the next, far too many of us remain stuck in the past. Most continue to operate with antiquated beliefs, with outdated tactics and inferior execution skills, which are only successful in creating small or even diminished returns. Rather than accept the idea that exponential growth is the new normal, and that developing super fast reflexes and quick strike capabilities is the smartest move that you can make, the majority resist, and some just flat out reject the need for change. And unfortunately, they'll pay a heavy price for that decision. There was someone who consistently and quite routinely works with people and organizations who accelerate from standing starts to giant accomplishments. Exponential growth is my reality. I've come to the understanding that you cannot change your behavior nor experience exponential quantum leap type growth until and unless you change your beliefs. And that the most important element in your strategy to win the battle for your mind and your productivity is your own psychology. And in this How to Make a Quantum Leap presentation, my aim is to transfer the belief that you have no legal or moral obligation or any logical reason to settle for small, for marginal or incremental growth. So you need to embrace the idea that the quickest way to the top in driving exponential growth is not by fighting your way through the pack, but it is by leapfrogging over the pack through the implementation of smarter and highly leverageable execution strategies. And that's why I created the 100-Day Challenge, to share with you the same mindset, tool set, and skill set that I've learned to shatter sales goals, to quickly grow a number of multi-million-dollar businesses, and to coach people and organizations to extraordinary performances. And I'm confident I can do the same for you. That's what you really want, isn't it? So how do you do it? How do you accelerate your win rate and drive exponential growth? How do you multiply your performance? How do you dramatically exceed your best expectations and achieve goals at a pace and a scale that in the past may have seemed impossible? How do you get more accomplished in 100 days than most do over the course of 10 years? Well, providing you with answers to these questions is the purpose of this webinar. So here's the first of many. If you really want to create a quantum leap, and if you're willing to make some changes in your life in order to cause it to happen, you too can become one of the great ones. The only things, and I emphasize, the only things you'll need to give up are false assumptions, low expectations, self-limiting doubts, and The comfort zone that holds you back from enjoying a lifetime of big, bold, and breathtaking wins. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I wanted to make you a promise. See, by the time you get to the end of this presentation, you'll know that quantum leaps can be engineered, that lucky breaks can be manufactured, that convention can be defied, and that the best path to success, no matter how you define it, is radically different today from what they were yesterday. See, while Superman is blessed with a number of superpowers which allow him to run faster than a speeding bullet, to be more powerful than a locomotive, and to give him the extraordinary ability to leap tall buildings in a single bound, your ability to accelerate your win rate and to drive exponential growth is a superpower that you can, will, and you must exploit to your advantage. Now, I'm going to take the liberty of being blunt right now. You really only have two options. You can resist the need to adapt to the demands of new market realities and spend the remainder of your life struggling, suffering, and desperately trying to survive by continuing to do what you've always done. Or you can adopt new execution strategies. You can upgrade your beliefs, and you can embrace better ways of thinking. My aim here is simply this: to transfer the belief that you have the potential to multiply your results and to dramatically decrease the amount of time and energy it takes in order to achieve your goals, to get wealthy, and to make a massive impact on this world. So here's some indisputable proof that quantum leaps and exponential growth is happening all around you. Right now, there are 2,126 billionaires in the world, and becoming one is an extremely impressive feat. However, the accelerated rate by which people are now becoming billionaires provides us with some important lessons which we can all learn from and leverage in order to fast-track our goals and to make our very own quantum leap. See, it took John D. Rockefeller 46 years to become America's first billionaire in 1916. Michael Dell, well, he achieved billionaire status in 14 years. Bill Gates, he became a member of the Billionaire Club in 12 years. Larry Page and Sergey Brin of Google, well, they got their ticket punch in 8 years. Jeff Bezos made it to the mountaintop in just 5 years. Mark Zuckerberg, well, he reached billionaire status in 4 years. Pierre Omidyar of eBay, he hit the magic number in just 3 years. Andrew Mason of Groupon, he did it in a whopping 2 years. And Jay Walker of Priceline became the fastest billionaire in just 1 year. Pick any area in history, and you'll find a handful of people who refuse to think and act like the masses, who buck the system, who question every conventional belief, and as a result wind up doing extraordinary things in an implausibly short amount of time. Now, don't you want a piece of that action? Well, even if your goals do not include becoming a millionaire or a billionaire, there's no disputing the fact that we have dramatically decreased the amount of time it takes innovative people to achieve big, epic goals, to get ridiculously wealthy, and to make a massive impact on this world. But how? And what can you learn from people who have found a way to hack their performance, to accelerate their win rate, and to seemingly transform their lives overnight? Well, in this presentation, I'll show you why you don't need to reinvent the wheel, when you can model and leverage the extraordinary successes of high performers to reinvent, to speed up, and to dramatically increase the size of your own results. Now, it was Mark Twain who said that education consists mainly of what we have unlearned, and that is where we're going to begin. So let's deconstruct the quantum leap strategy by shifting our focus onto the adverse questions. Now, why do that? Well, it's actually very simple. Because before you learn how to accelerate your results and drive exponential growth, you first need to unlearn the things which do not. So why do most people in organizations settle for small, for marginal and incremental growth? Why are most people in organizations still operating on old, outdated beliefs and behaviors that produce little in the way of results? And why is the slowest evolving technology in the world the space between your two ears, when in fact, it should be the fastest? See, for the moment you were born, you were unwittingly in the process of being indoctrinated into a multi-generational conspiracy designed to encourage conformity, to instill self-doubt, and to discourage original thought. Almost every institution you've ever come in contact with is self-serving and has conformance, manipulation, mediocrity, and control baked into their core. From education to entertainment, from the food you eat to the music you listen to, from the clothes you wear to the car you drive, From the books you read to the news you watch, and from politics to religion as well. They all conspire to get you to drink their very own version of Kool-Aid. They actively and they aggressively work to discourage big thinking, uniqueness, individuality, and differentiation. You must understand that throughout your entire life, that you've been groomed, molded, and patterned to fit into the narrow and the self-serving interest of a particular group, company, institution, clothing line, or party. And throughout your life, and throughout history for that matter, you've been told to sit still, to stand in line. You've been told to keep your head down, to follow the rules, to do as you're told. You've been told to play it safe. No, you can't do that. Wait your turn, ask permission, stop asking questions. Only speak when spoken to. You've been told to learn to compromise, and you've been told that success comes just one step at a time, incrementally. Well, this is terrible advice because it ingrains self-limiting beliefs. It undermines self-confidence, it creates fear, it creates doubt and a poor self-image, while sabotaging your chances of making a quantum leap. Negative programming and the ongoing enforcement of limiting beliefs is the rotten fruit of conformity, and it's the primary reason why most people live small, unfulfilled lives. And in the words of Henry David Thoreau, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation, and they go to their grave with their music still inside them. See, it's quite sobering to think that you're being taught by people who have been able to accommodate themselves to a regimen of thought that's been laid down by their predecessors. It's a self-perpetuating system which is intentionally designed to undermine real progress, and it's a truth that you must wake up to and strenuously resist, or the consequences are utterly devastating. So let's talk about reframing beliefs. See, most people operate with a conditioned, self-limiting mindset that says that success comes incrementally, just one step at a time. That's right. You've been conditioned since birth to think and act sequentially, as in step 1, step 2, and step 3, A then B, walk before you run, first grade, second grade, and third grade, single, double, triple, blue badge before you get to red badge, etc. But while unspoken, the court of public opinion says that we must move systematically and incrementally from our present level of achievement on to the next. Then the thinking goes from that stage, we can begin working towards graduating to the next higher level in the sequence, which is nothing more than gradual progress. See, this belief is false and only succeeds in undermining your growth, in sabotaging your self-esteem, and in relegating you to the slow lane. Now, I'm here to tell you that you can make a quantum leap from your present level of achievement to one that is several levels higher. And the best part is that you can do it directly, as in, you could do it in one giant leap. Now, I understand you might be wondering if I've been off sniffing glue, but I assure you that what I'm saying is clearly within your reach. So your mindset at this very moment may be flawed by doubt and skepticism, as the very idea of exponential growth, of making quantum leaps in your performance, of leapfrogging from your present level of achievement to one that is several stages higher is an unrealistic thought for most of us. So you've not been trained to think in quantum leaps, and you may very well have definite reservations about the possibility that you can make such exponential improvement at all, much less in an abbreviated time frame. However, I assure you that your doubts, your skepticism, and your suspicions are rooted in mental limitations. Your doubts are not the result of accurate thinking, but I assure you they are the result of a lifetime of habitual thinking. See, growth hackers, those who make a quantum leap, they just flat out think differently. And to create a quantum leap, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to think differently. You need to look at everything that you do in terms of revolutionary change rather than evolutionary change. So allow me to provide you with an example. If PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel could do it all over again, he said that he would start thinking bigger much sooner in life. He said, if I could go back 20 to 25 years, I wish I would have known that there was no need to wait. See, I went to college, I went to law school, I worked in law and banking, though not for terribly long. But it was not until I started PayPal that I fully realized that you don't have to wait in order to start something big. This self-made billionaire says that you should take your 10-year goals and ask yourself, why? Why can't I do it in the next 6 months? See, I love these type of questions because you never know what you're truly capable of until you're challenged to think bigger and to deliver faster. Thinking bigger, asking penetrating questions, and dramatically compressing time frames is a unique quality, as well as a force multiplier strategy that sets the ultra-successful apart from the rest. See, most of us are local and linear thinkers living in a global and exponential world. And to create a quantum leap, your biggest individual challenge is to retrain your linear, which is one step at a time mind, and start projecting it exponentially. Now, this isn't easy, but it does directly affect your ability to do big, bold, and beautiful things with this one life you've been given. So to demonstrate what exponential, quantum leap type growth actually looks like and the transformative power that it could have on your results, let's do a little experiment. See, if you have a child or a younger brother or sister, I want you to consider giving them the following choice. Option 1 is to offer them $1 a day for the next 30 days. Option 2 is to offer them a penny on the first day, 2 cents on the second day, and then tell them you'll continue to double it for each day for 30 days. Chances are they'll take option number 1. $30 isn't bad money for not having to break a sweat. But if they took the second offer, what started out with a penny would result in $10 million on day 30. That is the power of exponential, quantum leap type growth. Now, we're all familiar with the law of diminishing returns, where at some point, no matter how hard you're working, that your results will be less and less, and that you wind up playing a game of subtraction, or even worse, division. But what about just the opposite? What about playing multiplication, as in leaping your way to 10x, 100x, 1000x, or even 10,000x in terms of your growth? Google's genius futurist Ray Kurzweil has made headlines with his provocative yet often accurate predictions, like that a computer would beat a human in chess, which has already happened, or that self-driving cars would take us everywhere, which is already in play. But Kurzweil's brilliance is not in the predictions themselves, but it is in what the predictions actually represent. See, Kurzweil's core thesis is a little thing called the law of accelerated returns. And it states that fundamental measures of information technology follow predictable and exponential trajectories. The reality of information technology is that it progresses exponentially. See, 30 steps literally get you to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 30, you're at 30. But with exponential growth, it's 1, it's 2, it's 4, it's 8, it's 16, and at step 30, you're at 1 billion. And to put 30 exponential steps into perspective, that means that you'll circumnavigate the Earth 26 times. A simple assessment of the history of technology and its impact on growth shows us that change is exponential. And what this means to you and I is that we won't experience 100 years of progress in the 21st century, but it will be more like 20,000 years of progress. Now, I suggest you grab your helmet and buckle up, as we're in for one heck of a ride. And this is why I said earlier that most people and most organizations are preparing themselves for a future that simply does not exist. See, while technology is on a rocket ride from one moonshot to the next, far too many of us remain stuck in the past and we operate with outdated software. And this explains why most people are underperforming and only creating small and, for some, even diminished returns. Now, a moment's reflection will point out that we're multiplying our capabilities as a civilization, and yet we still accept the highly limiting beliefs that important societal change and progress, like re-engineering education, like combating crime, innovating in government, in medicine, law, and even politics, that it must take us generations. Yet, despite irrefutable proof of what we can accomplish in a short amount of time, most of us remain firmly fixed in the comfort zone and follow pre-prescribed paths. In its simplest terms, the law of accelerating return states that technological change is exponential and that the rate of change acts much like compound interest. It increases against the starting point at ever-increasing rates, and it's the reason why we're seeing such exponential, nonlinear, quantum leap type growth and rapid changes in technology. And to add further proof as to why you need to get this message, here's a few other accelerating technology laws which validate my points that quantum leaps are happening all around you. See, Kumi's law states that the energy required for computation halves every 18 months. And Kreider's law states that the amount of information that we can store doubles for the same amount of space every 18 months. Butter's law states that the amount of data that we could put through optic fibers doubles every 9 months. Nielsen's law states that the bandwidth to the average home, well, that doubles every 21 months. Swanson's law states that the cost of solar panels drops 25% every doubling of manufacturing capacity. And Haight's law states that the amount of light that's generated by an LED advances 20 times each decade, and the price, well, that falls by 90%. Now look closely and you'll see that they all share the same clear pattern of exponential growth. And it's worth bringing to your attention that almost all the consumer products that you use leverage a number of these technologies simultaneously. So what this means for you and I, as well as for anyone who's interested in being competitive and relevant in the future, is that technological change is accelerating so quickly, and that the only viable strategy for staying in the game is to change your way of thinking about exponential growth, and most importantly, learning how to engineer quantum leaps on demand. The truth is, we're all playing a high-stakes game of one and done. Life is way too short to operate with self-limiting beliefs and faulty execution strategies. Our first shot at life is our last shot at life. And for that reason alone, you should actively look for strategies to gain maximum growth with minimum effort. And if this idea sounds exciting to you, hold on tight, as you're about to discover the holy grail of execution strategies. I'm talking about the one that, if you can gain mastery of, will transform your life and give you everything that you could possibly want, faster than you could ever possibly imagine. Impossible, you say? Well, it's my pleasure to go full Monty on you by pulling back the curtain and by removing all doubt. See, Bruce Lee has been quoted as saying, "Knowing is not enough, we must apply. And willing is not enough, that we must do." Leverage is a force multiplier strategy which many of us know about, yet few fully grasp and apply. And if you're willing to suspend disbelief and to think radically different, I'm going to show you what you must do to fast track your goals, to create a performance explosion, and to unleash your greatness. See, we work hard, but we hardly question whether we're really working smart. Sustainable success achieved quickly through smart execution strategies like leverage is the only game worth playing. And to fully comprehend the awesome power of leverage and why it's the key to exponential growth, let's begin with a history lesson. See, the term simple machine refers to the 6 classical simple machines which are defined by Renaissance scientists. And they are the lever, the wheel and axle, the pulley, the inclined plane, the wedge, and the screw. Simple machines are all rooted in the principles of leverage, and they're designed to help us lift, to pull or raise items, to change the direction of the force, to increase the force, to split things, to fasten things, and to cut things. Now, you unconsciously use simple machines and leverage in every area of your life, every day of your life. You use them when lifting a wheelbarrow, when opening a door, when closing blinds, clipping your nails. You use them when you're riding a bike, driving a car, cutting vegetables. You use leverage when you're splitting wood, turning on the water faucet, going up a ramp, opening up a bottle of wine. You even use it when you're enjoying a seesaw with your children. See, you are in fact using the greatest force multiplier in the world all the time, and that is leverage. Simple machines use the amazing power of leverage to help us work smarter, easier, cheaper, and faster by making better use of our muscle and brain power, and they allow us to get far more done with far less effort. Now just think how difficult and complex your life would be without the power and the profound influence of these simple machines. See, simple machines are all about leverage and productivity, and the key thing that you cannot afford to overlook is that everything in your life can be leveraged. So here's a short list. You can leverage time, you can leverage money, you can leverage knowledge, experience, talents, contacts. You can leverage social media, you can leverage technology, information, ideas. You can leverage customer loyalty, you can leverage trust, your reputation, past achievements. You can leverage client testimonials. You can even leverage scandal, tragedy, good news as well as bad, and even failure can be leveraged. And as it relates to leveraging big wins and why it is so important to achieve big goals early on in life, See, many people think that the achievement of a challenging goal is enough in itself. But this is a mistake of epic proportions, because every big win brings with it a series of strategic byproducts that you can leverage to extend each win into other areas of your life, and most importantly, you can milk it for the rest of your life. See, we see this all the time with entertainers, with professional and Olympic athletes, and even young entrepreneurs throughout the world. So let me give you an example. Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps offers a great example of extending a big win. He successfully leveraged his swimming achievements and his 21 gold medals by negotiating endorsement deals worth $35 million annually from sponsors like Speedo, Ping, Under Armours, and Wheaties. And precisely because everything in your life can be leveraged to improve the quality of your life and shoot your productivity to the moon, is the primary reason why you must be intentional and move mastering the art of leverage to the very top of your to-do list. I consider leverage as more of an art than a science, since it requires perspective, insight, and creativity, along with the ability to effectively implement change involving people, processes, and technology. Leverage is an undeniable force and result multiplier. It's the most important one that you must study, learn, and master. In the same way that a power saw can cut through wood like a hot knife through butter, or how a nail gun can secure an entire wall or roof in just seconds compared to the hours that it would take with a hammer and nail approach. You can use leverage to accelerate your results and to multiply your effectiveness in less time and with less effort. And for the remainder of this presentation, we're going to focus on the key things that you can do in order to leverage what I call high lifetime value and high dollar per hour activities. Now, these are the things which catapult your results straight to the moon. They're the leverage points that bring you the highest personal reward and the greatest return on energy. So what exactly are high lifetime value and high dollar per hour activities, and why bother focusing on them? Because low lifetime value and low dollar per hour activities such as junk food, games, binge watching entertainment, gossip, worry, fear, apathy, negativity, selfies, running errands, organizing closets, and just general administrative stuff simply cannot be leveraged. They are time wasters and they are opportunity killers, and they actually provide you with a net loss. Indulging in them actually makes your life worse. Sadly, this is the space where the majority of people and organizations operate. However, if you want to achieve greater success, if you want to make more money, if you want to enjoy more time and experience more freedom, there is only one way. You must learn how to leverage high lifetime value and high dollar per hour activities. And the following provides you with a blueprint for you to run with and to build upon. So you can leverage your diet and your exercise routine in order to maintain stamina, to enjoy peak energy levels, and to ensure longevity. You can leverage past accomplishments to take on new and bigger challenges. You can leverage your reputation to build a 100% referral-based business. You can leverage opportunity to demonstrate excellence and mastery. You can leverage your creativity in order to outthink problems, to outperform competitors, and to exceed expectations. You can leverage your drive time by listening to motivational and educational material. You can leverage failure to stage a comeback, to prove people wrong, and to demonstrate the quality and the resilience of your character. You can leverage your skills and expertise by getting published and creating an entirely new revenue source. You can leverage technology to organize priorities, to schedule activities, and to manage projects. You can leverage systems to operate more efficiently, effectively, and profitably. You can leverage customer loyalty to spread the good word to attract more clients. You can leverage speed and rapid execution to create an unbeatable competitive advantage. And you can leverage other people's knowledge and expertise in order to avoid making costly mistakes. So why do it the hard way and reinvent the wheel, when you can reinvent the results by leveraging the knowledge, the skills, and the experiences from people who have already made the trip and who have already laid down the tracks for you? See, success is not achieved in a vacuum, nor by employing only one point of leverage. That's why it's wise to get yourself, your team, or your family focused on the specific levers that can be used in combination in order to create the greatest effect. Now, let me say this as plainly as I can. If you aren't using every point of leverage that you have, then you're wasting your time, your money, your effort, and your energy. That's why the smartest thing that you can do right now is to build your list of high lifetime value and high dollar per hour activities and assets, which can be leveraged for maximum effect. These are the people, these are the processes and the technologies that will provide you with rewards in all areas of your life for the remainder of your life. These are the leverage points that bring you the highest personal rewards, the greatest financial return, and the biggest wins from the smallest amount of effort. Now, one final point on this, and one worth tattooing on your forehead. There is no greater leverage than truth and trust. Honesty and trustworthiness are the ultimate leverage points, as well as the most powerful of all force multiplier strategies. So be honest and trustworthy in every one of your dealings, and your reputation and your business will reap epic rewards. Now, as to what's next, well, just start licking your chops, because what we're going to do right now, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the awesome power of leverage to create a quantum leap and to achieve more in the next 100 days than most people do over the course of 10 years. 10x goal setting and quantum leap growth is the art of the extremely big swing. And to use a baseball analogy, instead of trying to get on base or even just aiming for a home run, it's trying to hit the ball right out of the park and well into the next county. Such a big goal requires you to think and act radically different. This is critical because you'll never achieve extraordinary results with an ordinary mindset. That's a point worth repeating. You'll never achieve extraordinary results with an ordinary mindset. So allow me to explain why it's often easier to make something 10 times bigger, better, and faster than it is to simply improve something by merely 10%. See, small, marginal, and incremental growth depends on working harder. That entails more resources, more effort, and of course, more time. But 10x goal setting and exponential growth, on the other hand, is built on the ABCs of audacity, of bravery, and creativity. 10x goal setting forces you to rethink an idea entirely. It challenges you to think about everything you do in terms of revolutionary change rather than evolutionary change. It pushes you far beyond the existing models, the existing paradigms and beliefs, and it forces you to totally reimagine how to approach it. Now, you need to understand that the center of all positive progress in your life lies in your desire to increase your individual capabilities. Everything that does not currently exist in your life right now will only be made reality through the acquisition of new and better skills, along with new and improved execution strategies. Once again, everything that does not currently exist in your life right now will only be made reality through the acquisition of new and better skills, along with new and improved execution strategies. See, all the progress that you've made in the past, all the progress that you're experiencing in the present right now, and all the progress that's going to occur in your future is directly related to your innate capabilities. See, so much of the complexity, the confusion, and the intimidation of 10x type growth becomes increasingly clear and simple as you continually focus on increasing and expanding your capabilities. See, in the end, there are just 3 ways to initiate a quantum leap and to experience 10x exponential growth. No more, no less. So what are they? Well, say hello to the 3 Ps. See, quantum leap strategy number 1 is to pull your way to success. The first, the smartest, and the easiest way to experience a quantum leap is by becoming a high-powered magnet. And you do that by pulling people, by pulling opportunity and results to you or your intended target at an accelerated rate. This is where you become the hunted by giving people legitimate reasons to seek you out, to track you down, to want to do business with you, and to be associated with you, but even more importantly, to fall in love with you. As the one being hunted, you attract and you magnetically pull better quality people and clients, as well as bigger and more exciting opportunity to you by having an impeccable reputation, by going the extra mile, by becoming remarkable at what you do, and by having a demonstrated track record of success. See, like attracts like, and big attracts big. Big thinking and supercharged goals are energizing and enticing. They attract big believers, they attract big talent, big capital, and big-time advisors. The pull strategy is a sexy strategy, as it's all about desire, about romance, seduction, enticement, and it's all about intrigue. It's a high leverage position to be in, and once you have a taste of the many benefits of a strong pull strategy, you no doubt will want to experience it more often. See, this presentation is an example of the pull methodology. You are drawn to this message. You are pulled in by the Quantum Leap headline and the subject matter. And you are magnetically pulled through each point because you are attracted to the very idea of going for and achieving your own quantum leap. The Quantum Leap strategy number 2 is to push your way to success. As the name implies, this strategy is a bit more aggressive than pulling your way to success. Instead of magnetically attracting and enticing people, opportunity, and results, you need to become the hunter, and you push people and opportunities north in the direction of your goal or your intended target. See, a Quantum Leap push strategy is all about playing a strong, highly persuasive, and an unrelenting offense. It's based on hustle and hard work, dedication and discipline, follow up and follow through, as well as commitment and consistency. So you determine true north, you develop an action plan, and you hit the ground running by making big things happen each and every day. And that brings us to my favorite Quantum Leap strategy number 3, which is to psychologically model your way to success. See, this third Quantum Leap strategy is truly like playing with dynamite, as it's guaranteed to blow things up in a spectacular way. Modeling the mindset, the tactics, and the execution strategies of the ultra-successful provides you with a devastating and a sustainable competitive advantage. It administers a knockout blow to small, marginal, and incremental growth, and it procures you an express ticket to the front of the line. Now just imagine if you could learn to invest like Warren Buffett, if you could act like Meryl Streep, if you could compose music like Mozart, dance like Baryshnikov, sing like Adele, play the guitar like Carlos Santana, throw a football like Tom Brady, crush a tennis ball like Serena Williams. Just imagine if you could swing a golf club like Tiger Woods, write jokes like Jerry Seinfeld, lead like Churchill, design a building like Frank Lloyd Wright, imagine like Steven Spielberg, and even orate like Martin Luther King. What do you think would happen in your life if you started thinking, writing, speaking, behaving, and even executing like one of these preeminent performers? How would that transform your choices and your daily actions? Would you learn to do things better, faster, smarter, easier? Would your confidence level shoot to the moon? Would you experience greater success much faster in life? Well, the good news is that there's no need for you to imagine these things, because they're there for the taking once you start using psychological modeling. So what is it? How does it work? Well, psychological modeling is a form of copying, of mirroring, or imitating the behavior of another person. Now, this can be done to great advantage on a conscious level of awareness. However, we tend to do this at an unconscious level. See, the most efficient way to master any skill, strategy, or goal in life is to model the system and the strategies of the giants who have already forged the path ahead. See, why go to the trouble of reinventing the wheel when you can model and leverage the extraordinary successes of high performers to reinvent and to speed up your own results? So allow me to explain why modeling the systems and the strategies of the ultra-successful works so well. See, a system, a process, or a ritual, or what some growth hackers refer to as a formula, is a proven, repeatable execution strategy, which is intentionally designed to ring the bell by delivering highly repeatable results. And modeling the strategies of the ultra-successful allows anyone, and that includes you, my furry friend, to achieve a quantum leap and to experience exponential growth, while others spend their lives struggling to achieve small goals by repeating the same faulty, inferior strategies. Now, if you made it this far in this presentation, then I must assume that you're eager to leverage your capabilities in order to create a quantum leap. So let me leave you with some sound advice and introduce you to the best program in the world for achieving those objectives. See, exponential growth is both an attitude and a skill set, which can be studied, learned, and mastered. However, just like getting to Carnegie Hall, it requires practice, practice, and more practice. And if you're ready to start practicing and learning what it takes to catapult your life to new heights, it's best to learn from someone who growth hacks for a living. See, Steve Jobs said something that I think is absolutely brilliant. He said that if you want to become a success in life, that you must go out and expose yourself to the best of what others have done, and then to bring that knowledge back and add it to what you're doing. I created the 100-day challenge to expose you to the principles of greatness and the strategies of exponential growth. And this video is your exclusive invitation to participate in it. Over the years, I've become known as the goals guy, developed a reputation as someone and immensely successful entrepreneurs, executives, professional athletes, and even special military forces, to include the Navy SEALs, the Army Green Berets, and Delta Forces, go to when they need to step up their execution skills. In fact, my #1 New York Times best-selling book, Everything Counts, is required reading for all special forces, as it focuses in on the critical nature of micro-decisions, of sweating the smallest of details, and executing with speed and precision. See, the 100-Day Challenge is an online masterclass in rapid execution and exponential growth. And by following the system in this life-changing program, you'll not only knock your goals out of the park, you'll learn exactly what it's going to take in order to drive more results in just 100 days than most do over the course of 10 years. Now, as I did earlier, I'm going to take the liberty of being blunt. If at this stage of your life and career you find yourself underperforming and not making the type of progress that you know that you're capable of, and you must wake up and smell the reality. And that is that your existing beliefs and execution strategies are simply not firing on all cylinders. And that the only way for you to fix that problem is to adjust your psychology and to upgrade your execution strategies. Look, there's no point in pretending that thinking better, working smarter, and upgrading your execution strategies is anything less than the savviest move that you can make in your life right now. And while there are plenty of excuses, there's not one good reason for you to procrastinate, to say that you're not ready to take on this type of a challenge, or that the timing is simply just not right. Well, I've got news for you. The timing has never been better. See, you and I both know that it's possible to learn how to speed read, to speed date, to speed skate, speed network, and even play speed chess. Why then is this such a big psychological leap to think that you can't master the skill of rapid goal achievement and transform your life in just 100 days? To date, more than 600,000 people and organizations from more than 80 countries in the world have used the strategies that they've learned in the 100-Day Challenge to deliver jaw-dropping results. And I accept full responsibility for inspiring people to do insane things like climb Mount Everest, to run their first triathlon, to launch their own businesses, to become debt-free, to retire years and for some even decades early, get in amazing shape, and say adios to their comfort zone forever. And I'm confident that I can do the same for you. Now, it's best to look at the 100-Day Challenge as a form of finishing school. And by that I mean, once you're able to upgrade your execution skills and rise up to meet the mental and the physical demands of a deadline-driven challenge, you'll be finished with self-limiting beliefs. You'll be finished with settling for less. You'll be finished with excuses, and most of all, you'll be finished playing a small game. Now, as to who should participate in this extreme performance acceleration program, well, that's an easy one. The 100-Day Challenge is appropriate for everyone in the boardroom, the classroom, the locker room, and the living room. And like any world-class competition, it contains the elements necessary for creating a performance explosion, and that includes rules, coaching, accountability, a scoreboard, a finish line, fans, intense competition, and most of all, it's a ton of fun. Now, it's not for everyone, but if you're serious about making a quantum leap in your performance, and if you want the discipline, the strategies, and the motivation to transform your life in just 100 days, well, then it's definitely for you. Now, you're most likely interested in knowing what type of time commitment is required and how much it's going to cost you in order to participate. So let's address these two final points right now and tell you about all the incredible bonuses you're going to receive as well. So each day of the 100-Day Challenge begins with the crack of a whip, as a visually stunning email will arrive in your inbox providing you with your performance challenge for the day. You'll then log into your private member page, you crank up the speakers, and you'll devour that message. Now, apart from your first day where you'll want to invest whatever amount of time you need to review the orientation and complete your massive action plan, you should set aside 15 minutes each day to review the lesson plan, to determine where, how, and when it will be executed. You'll then email your action plan to yourself, and then you will attack your day. 8 hours later, you'll receive a follow-up email asking you to confirm the actual results that you produced. Now, this email is meant to harass, to harangue, and to hold you accountable, to ensure that the goals that you set are the goals that you get. And the best part of the 100-Day Challenge is that I've made it ridiculously affordable and within reach of any budget. What my corporate clients pay $25,000 per day or more to hear in person, you get to enjoy and benefit from for just $177. That's right, for less than $2 per day, You get everything that you need for transforming your life, for getting in great shape, for skyrocketing your income, and for achieving any goal you want faster and easier than you could ever possibly imagine. In addition, you'll receive over $5,000 in bonus materials. As included with each lesson plan is a bonus video, manifesto, or MP3, which provides you with additional insights, ideas, and strategies that will both motivate and inspire you to elevate your game even further. Now, as always, your investment is completely risk-free, and it's covered by our 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If what you learned does not get your mojo working and exceed your expectations, then you don't pay. It's as simple as that. Now let me close with a quote by Mark Twain, who said, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. See, there's no better time than right now to learn how to crush your goals, to accelerate your results, and to unleash your greatness. So click on the button and sign up for the 100-day challenge today. But the bigger reason, however, is something I mentioned earlier in this video. We're all playing a high-stakes game of one and done. You have exactly one life in which to do everything you'll ever do. And learning how to accelerate your win rate and make a quantum leap is one sure way to guarantee that you make the most of your time, your talent, and your potential. You owe it to yourself to invest a small amount of time and money to learn the proper pull, push, and modeling strategies to create a lifetime of quantum leaps and to make your life a living masterpiece. It's time to change the way you achieve your goals, and it would be my honor to show you how. So sign up for the 100-day challenge right now and make it the very next thing you do.